Okay, I think we are live. Welcome everyone to Business Succession Planning 101, how to safeguard your business from the unexpected. I'm Gary Winter, the managing attorney and founder of Lawvex, Trust and Estates and corporate law firm here in Central California. And I think we're going to just give a couple of minutes. We see people logging into the live stream now. So let's just take a couple of minutes here as people are joining us before I totally start. But if you're already logged in, there is a chat function, I believe. I'm a little bit new to this tool, but yep, I see the chat function going, and we do have folks monitoring the chat. So if I'm talking and I miss it, then we can still pick it up. So as we're waiting for folks to join us, then those of you who are here already, why don't you take a quick sec in the chat and maybe share why you felt like this was worth spending a little bit of your time today. I always like when I'm speaking to ask that question because I want whatever we're doing to be super valuable and have you feel like you walked away with amazing value. Um, so if there's a particular purpose or a particular question that you have about business succession planning, maybe post it in the chat, and we'll either pick it up in this episode or we certainly will address it in the future in other episodes. So good stuff. Yeah, I'm seeing some things come through in the chat as well. All right. About 12:03 here, so I'm gonna keep rolling a little bit. I see a few more people have joined us. Thank you guys for coming and welcome. Again, if you just joined us, if you don't know me personally, I'm Gary Winter, the founder and CEO at Lawvex. We're a trust and estates corporate law firm here in Central California, and our mission is to pursue drama-free inheritance for everybody, but especially for our small business owners, and that's what this is about today. Before I get started, I just want to introduce quickly and thank Macy Lemos for her efforts in putting this together. She's our marketing coordinator here at Lawvex, and in her role as a marketing coordinator, Macy is responsible for facilitating our in-person and web-based events like this and many others. We do a lot of in-person workshops. We do private workshops, lunch and learns, and Macy's also responsible for our referral partner relationships that we call our Team 100 program. And if you are unfamiliar with Team 100, we're looking to referral partner with at least 100 different businesses and professions in each of our 3 office locations here in Central California. So because of the nature of our work, it's very intimate, and the trust that our clients place in us, as well as the sort of the volume and size of our firm, we get many requests from clients daily for lots of different services, not just legal services. So we want to be able to quickly, and effectively place those referrals with folks that are other businesses in our communities that we've at least vetted and have some kind of relationship with. So if you're interested in that, the entry point for Team 100 is to have a call or Zoom with Macy and take a little bit of time so that we can understand your business and how you want to be referred, as well as our business and how we want to be referred. And Macy will usually follow up that meeting with an in-person visit to see you or to see your team and just drop off some treats and gifts. So if you'd like to learn more about Team 100 with Lawvex for your business, then please connect with Macy by posting here in the chat, or you can email her at Macy, M-A-C-Y, at Lawvex, Lawvex.com, and set up that Team 100 call or Zoom so she can share more details. All right. I think, yeah, we've got a couple more folks have joined us. Great. And for those that can't, we're obviously this recording, and we're going to let this continue to reside on LinkedIn. So, so quick personal background, just why we are doing this and what this is all about. I am 53 years old this year, and law is my second career. I originally pursued passion for flying and was a commercial airline pilot for many years. But like a lot of you, I was not satisfied with being an employee and just working the daily grind. So I wanted to try new ideas and take risk and be rewarded for making good decisions. So when I was furloughed from my commercial flying job in 2003, I went to law school, started my own firm about 20 years ago. And today we have 8 lawyers, 3 office locations, and a total team size of 28 here at Lawvex. So even though I'm not officially old or ready to stop working, I'm kind of getting to this age where we start to think about things like exit strategy. And uh, I have personally helped clients do estate planning, corporate counsel, and business succession planning for many years. But last year, uh, we did a bit of a deep dive into emergency access only planning because I took my family to Europe on vacation for just over 4 weeks. And that was an emergency access only vacation. So prior to that, we did a lot of planning to sort of define, what emergency access meant, what that looked like. And as part of that planning, we started to dig in and explore the larger issue of business succession planning because absence of the business owner or operator is certainly predecessor to some of the larger issues like uh, what happens if I'm incapacitated or passed away. So that's sort of the impetus of what's happening here, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But uh, as I said earlier, I'm interested in your why, and I think it probably is going to land in one of these categories because this was, my why for business succession planning and emergency planning. And first of all, it was because there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into building your business, right? We endure many, many things as business owners um, that need to be sort of stewarded, right? We need to be good stewards of our business, and so you don't want to waste that effort by being unprepared for things that are inevitable. And just a spoiler alert: we're going to talk about 4 or 5 triggering events, some of which are uh, possible to happen, but one of which is absolutely going to happen at some point to all of us, right? We're not going to own these businesses forever. So if we know that this is coming at some point, then why not prepare a little bit and be ready for it? So number one, why is because you worked really hard to build this thing, and we need to be a good steward of it. Number two, why is because often, as I talk to business owners about um, the sale of the business or the succession planning or the transfer of the business, even before they talk about their families, they talk about their team. Um, it's a very, very high concern for aging business owners to make sure that the business perseveres, and for the purpose of, like, the jobs and the support and the families that are uh, earning their living through our businesses. So we really want, in case of a transfer, we want our team to be able to move on, um, and continue to earn their living as best they can under the transition. So number two, we care about our team. Number three, obviously, because we love our families, and if something happens to us, well, the last thing we want to do is leave, our spouse or kids with a mess, hassle, or worse, a business that has suffered some kind of massive loss in value as a result of, being temporarily or permanently unable to operate because we're not there. So that's a huge concern. If even if everything goes perfectly well, in many cases, the family business is really the kind of the golden goose of retirement. As small business owners, most of us have invested everything we have into the business. And a lot of people that I work with don't really have 401ks or IRAs if they're a business owner. They have a business and they're looking for some form of income stream in retirement and from that business, one way or another. So providing income to parents is for the kids that are supporting them is a big deal, and that's ultimately um, what we're trying to get from transferring the business or selling it. So at the end of the day, I mean, we want to put safeguards in place to deal with things that are unexpected, but also things that should be expected. So, all right. So I mean, those are my those are my whys. I hope some of those will resonate with you. And um, let me tell you a little bit about just not just why I'm doing this, but also sort of what you can expect from not only our time together today, but just what we're doing in the future. This is a series called Business Succession Planning 101, and not just today's video, but we're gonna get back together again next Wednesday, also at 12 o'clock Pacific time, kind of on the lunch hour to begin diving into our next topic. And we're going to do that for several weeks in a row here, probably at least 4 or 5. And I'm open to expanding on that depending on what feedback I get from you all. Um, but this really is not it's not so much me talking at you. It's just sort of sharing with you my own journey that I've been going through in business succession planning and emergency planning for my business, and also making it a bit of an interactive um, exercise so that you can actually have some takeaways, some tangible, real benefit from spending time, on a LinkedIn Live like this and going through this video. So I've taken this big sort of amoebic subject of business succession planning, broke it down into workable and bite-sized topics, which we're going to present in a series of these short videos over the next several weeks. Each of those subtopics will cover a specific issue in succession planning. So next week, for example, we're going to dive into the incapacity of a business owner or operator. Incapacity meaning you can't make your own financial decisions. And business owner meaning the person who holds the shares of the corporation or is the member of the LLC. Business operator meaning the person who's the manager of the LLC or the CEO of the corporation. So we're going to talk about those different categories next week, 1 week from today, April 9th, Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time. And that will be the only thing that we talk about on the April 9th episode 2. At some date in the future, we don't have this calendared yet, but the next topic will be death of the business owner operator. There's a little bit of a difference there. I mean, incapacity, yes, we're out. We can't make our own decisions, but we're still alive. So the tools and the responses and sort of the emphasis in planning is a little bit different than the next thing, which is if somebody actually passes away. And we'll talk about that in episode 3 after next week. And then in episode 4, we're going to talk about gifting to family, what it's like to transfer to spouse or children, and things to think about in that regard. And in episode 5, it'll be sale to a co-owner, which often happens through a buy-sell agreement or shareholder agreement, something like that. And then the last one I have currently planned is a sale to a third-party buyer. How do we prepare the business to sell to the outside market? And so for each of these first 5 episodes, we're going to share a short and simple risk assessment checklist with you so that you can actually follow along on these videos and simply check the box on whether you or your business have addressed these appropriate risks or have implemented any of planning in place to deal with it uh, or not. And then at the bottom, you'll be able to sort of tally up your score and get a health indication for whether you and your business is doing well or not so well on that particular issue. So, what I would like for you to ultimately come away with from this business succession planning series, and what I'm also going to be doing for my own business as I go through this video series, is a risk assessment checklist that says, here's what we're doing well, here's what we're not, and what should we do next? What's the next step to take a look at it? So we will have risk assessment checklists for each episode. So uh, today, I would say next steps, maybe three or four things. Number one, make sure you share your email with us in the chat or send it to Macy. That is Macy at lawvex.com to talk about Team 100 if that's interesting for you. That's Macy at lawvex.com. Number two, make sure you share your email with Macy or in the chat here so that we can send you our first risk assessment checklist for next week. And even if you can't make that time, still watch the recording and go through the checklist. I think it'd be phenomenal. And that will be on incapacity planning of the business owner or operator. We're going to talk about that issue specifically, the tools involved, and some questions that you can ask and answer for you and your business next Wednesday, April 9th at 12 noon. And thirdly, I mean, this video will continue to live on LinkedIn. So if what we're doing here sounds interesting and helpful for you and your business, something that you might think would be valuable for your network or for your clients or someone else, please take a minute to like and share this video with your network and invite them to join us because next week we're going to dive into that first topic of incapacity of business owner and operator as we work through that first risk assessment checklist together. And I will keep these short. I mean, we're at about 17 minutes right now. My plan is to make it 15 to 20 minutes, so it's just in and out. We're not taking up an hour or whatever, and I'll cover it quickly. So make it worth your while, valuable information, and great opportunity for you to kind of get a quick and thorough overview in a bite-sized way for business succession planning and preparing for the unexpected for your business. So lastly, as always, if your business has immediate needs and questions in regard to succession planning, people who attend our in-person events or attend our webinars, or people who are referred by our Team 100 referral partners, they have a special opportunity to get a 15-minute welcome call with our attorneys, or in this case, with me personally. Just reach out to Macy again, and she can set up a welcome call for a free 15, 20-minute call with me to explore what's going on in your business and whether it's something I can help with or someone on my team or someone we can refer you to who can help with that issue in your business. So that's always an option too. That's not the purpose of this video. Obviously, we're not trying to sell anybody anything, but we're here to help if you do have issues that you want to talk about immediately. But what I'd really like you to do is just join me and join the rest of us on this journey, this business succession journey that those of us who are maybe in our 50s or 60s are on. And let's talk about how to prepare and safeguard and be good stewards of our businesses for not only safeguarding our own work, but for our teams and our families as well. So with that, I will wrap up. Thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you right back here next week, Wednesday, April 9th at noon Pacific time, and we'll talk about incapacity. Make sure you email Macy and get your risk assessment checklist so we can work through that together next week. All right. Thank you very much. See you guys.